It is officially open. Everybody's welcome. If everybody can give little description and background of themselves, that would be great. Let me start myself. I am Sheikh Abdi Hirsi, an Imam in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Originally from Somalia. I am fond of or in love with No More movement or No More campaign, whatever. It's a movement. And I am also a great supporter of Horn of Africa Alliance, where we need to bring people together in the Horn of Africa and to have exactly, if not better, a European Union. And I studied in America. I studied medical respiratory therapist. My bachelor's was respiratory. My master's was MBA in IT management. And I am about to finish my PhD in Islamic law. And I'm glad to meet with the faces of Horn of Africa, the faces of No More, especially the youngest and the most active activists. Thank you. Simon?
Hey, everyone. My name is Simon Tesfamariam, and I am from New York, Eritrean organizer, activist, also the executive director of the New Africa Institute. And I, like everyone here, am a huge proponent of the No More movement. And I think that a new day has come for the Horn of is born, for the Horn of Africa, and we have big things ahead of us in terms of the integration, collaboration, and the connecting of all our struggles. And so it is an honor to be on this August forum today to discuss this and see what we can do to bring together Somalis, Djiboutians, Eritreans, Ethiopians as brothers and sisters, as one unified people working for a common goal. So it is an honor for me to be here today.
Thank you.
Hermela?
Hello, everybody. My name is Hermela Aragawi. I'm an Ethiopian American journalist living in LA. I worked for corporate journalism or corporate media companies for about 10 years and recently went independent because I saw how the narrative in the mainstream media around what's going on in Ethiopia was literally killing people there and dividing people in the diaspora. I was born in Addis Ababa and came to the US when I was about 7 years old. Both of my parents are from Tigray, so I guess technically I'm ethnically Tigrayan. Although as time goes on, I realize some of the ethnicity and tribal stuff is whether you want to identify with it or not. In the sense of how important is it really? So I worked with a lot of the #Tigray genocide activists for a while because my mom was in the Tigray region at the time and I didn't really understand the politics of it all. And so one thing I want to just mention here is I have seen how tribalism destroys an entire community. There are people that thinking that what's going on in Tigray and the way it's framed is humanitarian when it really is using tribalism as a way of grasping power. And I've seen how young people, well-meaning people that go into these spaces not understanding the danger are driving themselves so far into this issue that it is literally becoming self-destructive to the community, to the individuals. I'm just seeing a lot of really emotional disturbance, and I'm really concerned about mental health issues in that community, because in order for tribalism to really thrive, you have to keep people scared, keep people listening to the worst news, take away their hope unless it's hope through war. And it's all about divisiveness, and it really harms the individual. their relationships with the people around them. And so this past year, I've just had such an awakening in terms of how the media plays into this, and how the communities, in the Horn of Africa are affected by it. And even, myself, I'll say I had certain ideas about Eritrea, that came from mainstream media. And so I'm just really a huge fan of all of us coming together. I mean, we look alike, like you really can't tell, nobody can tell who's from where. I think we share a lot more than we have differences. And I'm really excited about the No More movement, really bringing that out of everybody. And I would just love to get the Somali community to be very much more ingrained in the No More movement as part of the Horn of Africa and as part of the larger global No More movement. Thank you so much for having me on this panel today.
Inshallah. Wow. Good to have you. Nabil?
It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Nebiyu Asfal. I live in Denver, Colorado. I'm originally from Ethiopia. I am a Pan-Africanist. I am also the co-founder of the Ethiopian American Development Council, EADC. I'm a big proponent of No More. I think the time has come for the Horn of Africa to come together and to say no more to division, no more to tribalism, no more to poverty. And it's such an honor to be at this time where we're in the cusp of a new era. And I am such honored to be here with you, my brothers and sister. And I'm excited to what is ahead and what is to come.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you to have it. Rahman?
Hi everyone. My name is Abdurrahman Muhammad, and I was born in Djibouti, but then I grew up in Canada, specifically in Montreal, and then I decided actually to come back. And when I came back to the Horn of Africa, one of my first job was actually in Addis Ababa. I was the deputy director of the Horn of Africa Regional Environmental Center, combining 8 countries of the region. And yes, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm also an activist. And then when I went back to Djibouti, actually, I was my activism and my voice actually didn't play the regime there. So now I'm exiled in Somalia, but I'm still continuing actually the activism. So thank you to our brothers and sisters who started the No More movement. Now we have to make it also strengthen in the Horn of Africa, but also to make it actually grow up in the rest of Africa. So I'm also looking forward for what's await us, inshallah.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Hashi available?
Hi everybody, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Hashi. I am a Somali national. I am a human rights activist. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I am for human rights and a Pan-African, especially more of Somali activist in terms of a better future for Somalis everywhere they are. That said, I am very esteemed and happy and privileged to be part of this conversation with you guys in terms of helping, in terms of charting a new and charter territories for the people. So with that said, I am happy and I really want to say a few words about the No More movement. It has opened a Pandora box of African emancipation journey, and if we continue into it, we can actually realize the second liberation of Africa through the young minds and through the pen. Thank you very much.
Right on time.
I am so excited to be with you guys. I will repeat. We will repeat some of those stories that we have touched. We all agree that Africa is under a new colony. Those slave owners or those enslaved us, I believe, just changed the tactic. The modern day slavery scheme, to me, is more dangerous than the older one. When you are being brainwashed, when Africa is drained both brain and resource, everybody who studies or successful in studying will come to the West. So that's brain drainage. Everyone who has money is coming to the West. That's wealth and resources drainage. And every valuable item in Africa, including oil, gas, minerals, gold, diamonds, we get the most, but we are hungry. So Africa needs to wake up, and every group and every adjacent countries need to start together a movement that they will free themselves. We are being identified and labeled by the Westerns. That country is bad. This country is this is corrupted. This is immoral. This is that, and they isolate countries that say no more to them. We need to open the borders. We need to economically open to each other. We need to have businesses open to each other. I need to be able to go from Mogadishu to Asmara without any problem, crossing through Ethiopia and crossing 3 or 4 or 2 customs. I should be able to work in Asmara. I should be able to work in Mekelle without any issue, without any problem. I should be able to go to any corner of this horn of Africa. The wider, the better. Until we, accomplish at least something like European Union or better. Africa needs to get together and to say no more to the new imperialism, to the new type and form of slavery. We need to keep the resources of Africa stay in Africa. We need our people to thrive and prosper. We need our education system to be completely reformed. We need our cultures to be praised. We're humans. We're not animals. We're not subhuman. As some people think, we're not all, genius, but we are as equal as every nation. We have geniuses. We have some people above average. We have below average. We are humans. We have everything that humankind has. We're not all idiots, as some people believe, and we need to seize this momentum that was created by youth, energetic youth of Horn of Africa. That's called it No More Movement. I'm excited to share something with Hermela specifically. As I was talking about a little before the Zoom, my country is going through a lot. We lost the central government 30 years ago and 31 years ago. And we're still struggling we went deep into a black hole. And we are trying to get out of that hole. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. We have a kind of government that understands that moving people from this dark hole to the light. And they are doing step by step. Sometimes baby steps, but it's working. Every day or every week or every month, we hear something important, a milestone that being reached by the federal government of my country. I am from one part of the country. We have been divided by former TPLF Prime Minister, Malla Sanawi, into 4.5 as equal as Ethiopia. And then we've been taught all these years, we've been taught not to like each other, but to hate each other, to admire what's called tribalism, to admire stoogism, or sometimes being spy openly. Some people will say, I am working for so-and-so country in the system, in the political system. Leaders are bragging that they are connected to outside countries, something that's called in everywhere in the world, something called they call treason or treasonous act is a praise it became praise in my country. It took us a lot to wake the people up. I belong to that one tribe that is sometimes antagonist to stronger Somali federal government for whatever reason. They are always fighting. I said no to my tribe. I said no to my clan. I said no to my people because they are wrong. I believe that we can all grow together as Somalis, and we can all lift each other together, and we can go back together as we've been before the collapse of the country. I admire Hermele for being a Tigrayan and talking openly, and with courage against the TPLF. And by the way, TPLF is not a problem for Ethiopia alone. It was a problem for the whole Horn of Africa. Somalis went through a lot under the occupation and the power and the leadership of TPLF. So many different genocides were committed, but as long as you are in bed with the West, all these genocides are justified, or at least not reported or underreported. Nothing or no accountability is there. So I am really excited when I was excited when I realized I was told that Hermale, who was the face of No More movement, an activist, aspirant, very energetic, and I was told she's Tigrayan and she's talking about TPLF negatively. I was really encouraged, and I, without any hesitation, joined the Horn of Africa Alliance movement and the No More movement. If we get together as the three leaders that signed collaboration, political and economical collaboration, it's a good start. And then we can attract other African countries next to us, like Djibouti, like Kenya, like Tanzania, Uganda, Sudan, and what have you, the whole region together one day. That's my dream, to see all of them together and open to each other, and resources are shared. So we need to educate our people and say we can grow together as a humankind of that piece of land. God created us together in the same place. It is not what we chose. I didn't choose to be a Somali, and I did not choose to be in the Horn of Africa. But I have to admire what God has chosen for me, and I have to make it the best place to live. And we have the resources that the whole world needs. We are hungry. So we need to talk about the bigger picture and get out of the box. Everybody has blindsided by some biases, personal or communal biases. We should all cross all those borders. We can we can get together and we can lift each other up, all of us. All three countries are doing well if they are together. And every threat to any of those three countries is a threat to all of us. We should treat that threat as such. Then we can lift each other. Then we can grow together. Then we can. We have all the seashores. We have all the minerals. We can get all the gases and oils and golds and diamonds and everything. What have you. We have coffee too. We have livestock. We have camel milk. which we can sell to the world. We have abundant fish out there that can, turn the Horn of Africa, the entire Horn of Africa, into a paradise. That's it. If we don't do anything other than fishing effectively and efficiently, we can supply the whole world and we can change the world. So I am excited to be part of you guys, and I'm excited to know you, and I'm excited to be, inshallah, in the future, part of this movement. I will learn from you, and I will be there for you. Thank you.
I'll jump in. I really, I'm absolutely excited for No More to be truly a Horn of Africa project, a Pan-African project, global project. But, before you look far off, you have to, rally up everyone around you, your close friends, your neighbors, your family. And I see us as family. Our borders touch one another. There's cultural, similarities between all of us, and our differences make us stronger. We can come together with our differences and have some diversity and learn from one another and grow from one another. And so I think it's only natural that these three countries, which border and each other and share this cultural similarities, work together. And we are facing the same threat, as you mentioned, TPLF. But this is beyond TPLF, because if it's TPLF today, it'll be some other force tomorrow. In fact, we just learned just recently that TPLF was told by Washington to invade Addis Ababa. And this is just coming, this was on Tigray TV recently. And now we're learning that, if we didn't already know, that the United States and other powers have been exploiting those who are willing to sell themselves to these greater powers. And what we need are no more of these people who are immoral, who do not represent us, who are opportunistically, selling themselves. And if it's not TPLF, it'll be some other force tomorrow. And we know that what they do is they divide and conquer. And so we have to focus on unity. So when we say we are one, when we are saying unity, it is a message to them that you won't break us. You will not divide us. You will not conquer us. And so this is why we have to focus on this. And no more, you don't even need to say anything other than the words no more to get the message, to understand what we are feeling. We are fed up. We're fed up of TPLF. We're fed up of what the US, the UK, and their colonial puppets are doing. And so we're now, we have a message that resonates across the Horn. And as we started to do this, and we had these global protests that, was able to mobilize hundreds of thousands, and now we can say, reaching on millions. Then what this has done is it's created a truly grassroots movement that, is making it such that we can push our agenda, and we need to unite ourselves. But what this has done is it's caused those who we are saying no more to do what? To censor us. And we've done a lot of our organizing on social media. And who uses social media? A lot of young people. And these young people who are saying no more, as you mentioned, Sheikh, they're basically creating a situation where these forces are trying to muzzle us and trying to silence us. And so we have got to say no more to this as well too. And this is the next major phase of no more, is to stop the silencing of us. And it's not just Eritreans, Ethiopians, it's Somalis and other voices. Somali Facts, as we saw, was taken down. I was taken down on Twitter. Horn of Africa Hub, which was organizing No More, was taken down on Twitter. And so we see that anyone who's saying no more is becoming a target, which means there's something right about what we're doing. And we should not show intimidation, be intimidated by this and bullied by this. We need to mobilize the entire Horn of Africa and, take the fight to their face and let them know that we're not going to take this lying down, that we're going to stand on our 2 feet and fight this. And not in a way that is, we're not trying to antagonize, the United States. We're not trying to antagonize Twitter. We don't want to create problems where problems don't need to exist. What we are saying is that we are a genuine, peaceful voice who is tired of poverty, war, and destruction and disinformation that promotes this stuff. So we're tired of it and we want it to stop, and we're saying no more. And that is a message of peace. And so we have to fight this. We have to fight for peace. And so this upcoming week, I really do believe that the focus of the entire No More movement, Eritreans, Ethiopians, Djiboutians, Somalis, we need to stand in harmony and get onto the streets. Let Twitter know. Let those who are backing Twitter and pressuring Twitter, because we don't believe Twitter wants to do this. This is bad for business. To change their ways, to improve their platform, and to create more space for African voices. Because if African voices are not there, you're missing a major part of the world. These are Black people who are oppressed in this world. A lot of these African voices are dark-skinned Black people. So this is racist. And African voices are very, crucial to the global community. And so part of that is the Horn of Africa voice. We have a unique voice with everything that's going on, with everything that we experienced. We have to share our struggle with the world. And so them muzzling us and muzzling no more is making it so that we have no choice but to fight back now, and we have to fight for peace. And so my message to all people today, and I believe everyone's here, I'm guessing on this platform, is we have to stand up against the silencing and the censorship of our voices across social media against young African voices. And so I hope we will join together in this struggle today.
Beautiful. Well said.
Can I step in here really quick? So, as Sheikh Abdi said, I am of ethnic Tigrayan descent, but I just want to talk a little bit about my life and how nothing good, like nothing major that has happened to me had anything to do with me being ethnic Tigrayan, right? Growing up, I grew up in a very apolitical household. I had friends and community that was not all from one background. We had Ethiopian friends, we had Eritrean friends, Nigerian friends, Ghanaian friends, people that my mom worked with that would babysit us while she's getting her doctorates, white people from Mississippi, Black people from Mississippi. I mean, so many of the people that helped us through life and helped me throughout my life and my career came from all types of backgrounds. And I wonder if I had that limited tribalist thinking, if I would even be where I am today, if I would have been able to go into broadcast journalism and to pursue the career that I wanted to pursue. So the point that I want to make by that is, when you limit yourself like that, you are limiting possibly the career of your dreams, the best friend that you could have, the mentor that could be the mentor that helps you get everything you want, the husband, the wife that could be the best partner in life. So when we're talking about being anti-tribalist, it's really so that you're not going against your own self, right? If being tribalist really served a group, really got the individuals in that group everything they wanted, it wouldn't be so bad. But what I've seen, and I think that Tigrayans who are pro-TPLF are a sort of a great and a tragic example of that, right? They had leadership that was at the top of power for 27 years, but so what, right? So what? In this moment, they went through a war that was started by this group. A year later, it looks like militarily they're not going to win that war. They've lost so many lives. They've broken their own friendships. I've heard of families that have been divorced, right, over this last year. So when we say don't be tribalist, it's you're getting in your own way. You're getting in the way of opportunities. You're getting in the way of growth. And it's too big of a world. We live in a global world. You can connect with anyone on this earth via all this technology. So why would you just limit yourself to this archaic, primitive concept of tribalism that was probably necessary for survival way back in the day, right? But now it's literally the opposite. When you do that, you essentially self-destruct. Because that's just not the way the world is set up anymore. So I hope that point, or I hope I drove that point home. It's not because you shouldn't be proud of the ethnicity that you're a part of or the history that might come with. It's just saying that ideology does not serve you ultimately. So that's something to think about. We see what tribalism has done to Africa. We see what it's done to Ethiopia. And you guys talked about what it is doing and what it has done to Somalia. And so I think the next generation has too much to accomplish for that. We're going to see things that, in the next few decades, hopefully on the African continent that we've never seen before, advancements that we've never seen before. And we can't do that unless we expand our mind beyond our little, tribalist world. Thank you.
Wow. Well said. Thank you.
I can jump in. I think that says it all. Tribalism is, I believe, the biggest weapon colonialists invented to rule Africa. And that is how Africa was divided and conquered. And I think that is what we're still dealing with. In Ethiopia, where we have literally an ethnic federal system where the politics is polarized along the lines of your tribe. And to me, that is what No More is about. But this tribal division is a disease. There's 81 tribes in Ethiopia. Like in Kenya, there's 40 plus tribes. Eritrea has like 9. But look at Somalia. Somalia has one tribe, one language, one religion, but we're still divided by clan. It's just really unbelievable because they always find a way to divide us. And that is why we are saying no more. And I think we are in a unique place in history. If you look at the Horn of Africa, the population is young. The average age in Somalia is 16 years old. The average age in Eritrea and Ethiopia is 19 years old. In Ethiopia, where you have 110 million people, 70%, 7 out of 10 people are under the age of 29. So this is a new generation coming up. So what are we going to pass on to this generation? This new generation does not want division. This new generation does not want this primitive, medieval, tribal associations. They want prosperity. They want unity. They want to live a good life. They want to love one another. They want to live together. They want to be strong. And that is what No More is bringing to us, is cultivating that desire of the new generation. Africa totally has 1.3 billion people. While the population in Europe and North America is declining, the population in Africa is growing. And it's really the way to go going forward, being able to trade within each other. My brother, earlier you mentioned about borders and visa. No more of that. Once we start trading with each other, once we start respecting each other, we move forward from this division, from this hate, and we say enough. And then we focus on building our countries, building our cities, building our families, building our everything. And I think that is where we are right now. And, to me, that is what No More represents. And, for some entities that have an interest in Africa, whether it is to get the resources of Africa, it's in their best interest to divide Africa, right? And that is why, especially the West, uses entities like the TPLF. They're a tool of this division, this neo-colonialist that have to divide Africa and the Horn of Africa. And that's exactly what the TPLF is. And I think once we get over this hump, this division, there will be absolutely nothing to stop us as people to take our rightful place as sovereign and liberated people that really can take our own destiny into our own hands.
Wow. Beautiful. Well said.
Thank you, everyone. Just I would like to add that most maybe actually I'm the one now in the Horn of Africa. Most of you guys are in different places, and one of the things I noticed actually, most of the youth here in the Horn of Africa usually look up dearly to the diaspora. So that's why actually I'm really looking forward to see the coming action for the No More movement. And the whole challenge for us is actually how to move from a movement to become a revolution. I had the chance actually while I was working and I was based in Addis actually to travel in the different country in the Horn, and I was always amazed by the amazing innovation as well as the creativity that are present within our country. But the biggest problem, as most of you actually mentioned, is how to overcome this barricade that was constructed either by the colonialist or the today neo-colonialists or imperialists, actually just to continue to divide us and to make us always apart, so we can not discover each other, not meet each other, and be always afraid from the others, following their narration, and being always kept in like a Bantustan or like totally a region where the communities and the people are totally balkanized. So yes, the diaspora has an important role to play, and I know actually that a lot of the youth here in the Horn of Africa are looking, because actually a lot of the youth today in the Horn, because of the lack of good opportunity in front of them, most of them actually they're thinking about how to migrate actually, or have the chance to go in different country. But if they see their brothers, their sister who are living in that supposedly nice countries actually coming together and actually discussing and then even coming back, that will actually make this No More movement a revolution. I would like just to mention maybe two examples. When I was in Addis, I remember one of my favorite restaurants in Addis was cooking fish, but the fish actually that was at that moment available was only tilapia. And then when I went back, I went to Djibouti, and then I brought actually 25 kilo of like really like the best fish. And then the lady, the owner of the restaurant, was actually so amazed. And I just like say like, hey, this is a gift. We become very, very close. She became like a second mom to me. And then I organized for her because she wanted to actually have access to fish. And I said, okay, I can organize this for you. And I organized a whole trip for her to go to Berbera in Somalia. And I remember her own friends and her own family who were telling her, "Are you crazy? Going to Somalia?" But she said, "No, I trust Abdurrahman. It's like my son. I'm gonna go." She went to Berbera. She stayed a week there, and not only she met people and then discovered the country. When she kept until today, she still talk about that experience. The other example I would like to mention, actually, it was a young, amazing, beautiful lady, Somali, but like she grew up in Canada. Her name was Hodan Naleye. She came back to Somalia, and through doing interview, but always focusing on the good things, making people, different village, different cities going. She had such a huge impact. A lot of people who were living in the diaspora actually fell again in love with their own country, and they came back. But unfortunately, she was killed in Somalia. So how to actually bring back the narratives, our own narrative? How can we bring this and the way of acting? Actually, the no more censorship is. It's also how we have to tell our stories. And the best way to tell these stories is actually if we can organize, actually bringing from the diaspora, Eritrean, Somali, Ethiopia, and then coming, and then going to Addis, and then going to Mogadishu, going to Asmara. I believe this will have a huge impact. There are also many other things, but I would like to let my brothers and sisters actually to add on this. Thank you.
I just want to say I also want some good fresh fish. So, you know, I mean, I know that's like a little example, but it's true. Like, there's just so many things that if we came together, like we could all be having the best of everything.
Exactly.
In terms of fish, it starts from the corner of Eritrea all the way to Kenya. That's a huge, long line that can feed the entire world. And we get the best fish. We got the best salmon on earth. The wild salmon in Somalia is amazing. And Somalia is the only place that you can jump into the water and grab a fish by your hand.
It's true.
Yeah, it's better than, you know, the shipped tilapia from Asia. So,
so it's amazing if we open to each other and share talents and skills and knowledge with each other and educate our people. And that is the catch. That is the most important one, to focus on the educating people. When people are educated, they get out of the boxes and they break all the shackles that were put on by the imperialists. As Simon said eloquently, they want to divide us so they can conquer us, so they can rule us, so they can steal our resources. We're not against anybody. We don't hate anyone. We're telling them no more exploitation of our own resources. Keep yours, leave ours to us. Let's do business with each other. Let's sell things to each other. If you have products, we will buy the right products that we need. If you need our products, buy it, but buy it fairly. Don't do what you do to us, to hunger us and force us to cheap labor and to force our kids to do the cheap labor. Look at the cacao, the chocolate that everybody enjoys in the whole world is produced from Africa. That's the only place. And look at the people of that area. They're hungry. Yeah, you buy a piece of Hershey, my name, Hershey bar, chocolate. How much it is? $3, $4, just that piece. And back there, one whole 50-kilo sack is $2 or $3. That's a ripoff. So don't exploit us. Be human. Help us grow. We're humans. That's all we're asking. We're not against anybody. We don't hate anybody. We don't spread hate speech. We're telling the white guys, you enslaved us last 150 years. Africa was a place of slavery. Just free us, once, and one is for all. Just for God's sakes, leave us alone. That's all we're asking. No more. It's not against anyone else. It's against the perpetrators, those who want to abuse us. We're telling, don't abuse us. We need to educate our people, and we need to lift each other up, and we need, it's must, like Hermele was doing. We need to break the shackles that contain us and limit our opportunities and potentials out there. We need to have ourselves open to the world and be friends with everybody in the whole world. We welcome tourism. We welcome business people to come to Horn of Africa with dignity and respect. Respect our rules, respect our regulations, respect our laws. Come to our country, follow the laws, follow the rules. We will treat you the best, as long as you are decent human being that's coming there for a legit reason. But don't come there to divide us, to make us turn to one another and fight one another. Don't create for us groups and entities that will deliver your message, which is divide and conquer, divide and rule. Why do you want to divide us? We are in the modern day technology era. We have steamed, energetic, educated youth. These are the example in front of my eyes. We have these in millions. Nobody can blind us anymore. Do not censor us. Don't silence us. We're not killing everybody in Twitter. We're just pushing back the bad messages that come to us. That's all. With decency. We're not calling anybody names. We tell them you are employing imperialism ideology. You're not welcome here. No more. We don't want it. Keep it with you. You are the best of the best. Yeah, stay in your home. Why are you coming to us? Or we're fighting terrorism. You create terrorism into us. TPLF is the last example. Al-Shabaab in Somalia is in bed with the Westerns. Helicopters being captured, dropping food and weapons to Al-Shabaab, for Al-Shabaab. Many times, not only one time. I give you a good example. There are tons of ships, warships, ships of army, like Navy ships, big ones, huge ones, planes on them, in the seashore of Somalia. A boat full of weapons is coming through all these ships in a broad daylight, coming to the seashore. They will organize and arrange a way that Al-Shabaab will get to those weapons. In many times being captured. So we believe that they are creating entities that divide us so they can rule us. Now we're waking up, like the Africans back in the 60s woke up from slavery and said no more. We're saying no more to the new one. We're saying no more to imperialism. Why silencing Simon? He's a decent human being. He never killed anybody. Killers are there in the Twitter, and they're not silenced. Why him? He's not violent. He's not telling anybody to do violence. He's just organizing activism. Is activism a crime? Is it crime to actively advocate for your people? Is advocacy a crime now? Then lawyers should be all locked up, and all the accounts owned by activists in the entire world should be shut down across the board. But when you do tactical surgery and target us, we will say no more. Close all the social media that you want. We will have a social platform for our own. We have people in millions, and we can have our own Twitter. What is it? We have technology people, and we are it's coming. It's coming soon. So we should do it. We should do it. So I am absolutely energetic. I'm the oldest, I guess, in this panel, but I am as esteemed as the youngest of you. I want you guys to lead us. We will follow you. For this opportunity, I will call upon my fellow Somali people. It is our own Somali opportunity and chance to seize this momentum of Ethiopians and Eritreans and Djiboutians and everybody in the Horn of Africa getting together to lift each other. We are in the dark hole. We're coming out of it. So if somebody is giving us hand, we should grab it. We should grab it. And this is, I believe, more beneficial to us than anyone else. So we need to stand up. Right now it's Ethiopia. And by the way, I have to say this. The whole reason, I could say the sole reason that Abiy Ahmed is being targeted and attacked and degraded is befriending Somalia, leaving Somalia alone. That's the only crime he committed. He did not interfere the political system of Somalia. Before him, there was a person from the military of TPLF sitting in the Villa Somalia, making the rules, deciding everything, telling the president of pseudo president that we had to do this and don't do this. In public sometimes, this a guy who was, his name was Gabriel or whatever, used to come to a president or to the minister reading a paper in front of the media, and he removes that letter from them, the paper, and gives them his. He says, read this one, don't read this. We went through that. That was TPLF. This was it. Abiy Ahmed befriended with Afwerki. What happened? They gave him a Nobel Prize. There is no problem. They gave him Nobel Peace Prize because there was a peace created by Abiy Ahmed by befriending with his neighbor and his people in Eritrea and making the border open to each other. That was praised by the entire Western. What happened later? He's the same guy that you awarded with Nobel Peace Prize. What did he do? Oh, he befriended with Farmajo, and then Farmajo and Afwerki and Abiy Ahmed came together and they formed this called Horn of Africa Alliance. Is that a crime? Oh, Somalia was not yet let go. She was in the hoop. So Somalis, this is for us. We need to see it as it is for us. No more, it's for us. Ethiopia is going through a little hectic and little hurdle, and Abiy Ahmed will prevail. He is winning already. TPLF is going back to where they came from, the mountains and the caves. That's where they belong to. Until they, get into their senses and become normal people, they should stay away from the human being in this beautiful country. They cannot force people. How can you force 5 million people? I don't know. Sometimes I think the Westerns don't know the mathematics, arithmetic. How can you force 5 million people to rule 150 million people? Somalis, Eritreans, Ethiopians together is over 150 million. How can you force 5 million to rule? Not all 5 million. It's close to 20, 30,000 people. Not all Tigrays want to be a TPLF. All right. So what is the trade-off? I don't get it. Why don't you befriend with the majority? We are the majority. As the majority, we're not going to stay silent. We will say no more. Thank you, guys.
I really liked your message early on about like education being a very key thing, and you also mentioned the word awareness. The growing awareness of what's going on, that this has been a game that's been played by the neo-colonialists and the colonialists of the past. And, I want to bring into the discussion the phrase educate, agitate, organize, which comes from Dr. Ambedkar from India. He was a Dalit from the so-called untouchables there, and a proponent writing for their voice and their oppression against their oppression. And I think this phrase, educate, agitate, organize very much applies here, where we need to raise people's awareness of what's going on. And I think No More in its initial phases has done a good job of just showing just the basics of all this, that we don't want tribalism. We don't want division. So we said no more to that. We said no more to those who are supporting the tribalists, which are the imperialists that are coming from outside, who exploit them and use it to divide and conquer. No more to that as well too. No more to all the stuff that comes with that, the pretext for intervention and sanctions and all this stuff to keep us weak and divided. So we know this now. We've raised awareness. We still have to go places and keep raising the awareness where it hasn't reached in certain parts of Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Djibouti. But we've done a major part of that. And the goal of it then is to piss people off. We need to make people angry and make them do something and change behavior of some sort, and not in a violent way that makes, that creates, discord and, destroys lives or anything like that. We are peaceful. So we are seeking to agitate and create anger so that we create behavior change. And so we are seeing that by people mobilizing on the streets, people finding creative ways to demonstrate, and people saying, you know what, I'm going to take my money and put it in the Ethiopian bank, in the Eritrean bank, in the Somali bank, make my country strong and safe. I'm going to stop using the black market. This is part of this year's process. People are saying, I'm going to do this. You know what? We're going to get 1 million people to go to Addis Ababa to support the economy there and boost the economy. You know what? We're going to go back home and start a media company in Somalia, in Mogadishu, on the ground, and we're going to make this happen. And this is in spite of all the obstacles and all the problems that exist there. This is behavior change. This is part of the process. And people who are saying, we want to, fight in this kind of way. I want to channel my anger in this kind of way. That channeling, we need to harness it through organization. So that's the third part, is to organize now and not just make this like just pointless mobilization, where we're it's like kind of everyone doing their own thing and it's kind of scattered. We have to organize. And the difference, what makes us different, all of us in the Horn of Africa at this historical moment than other groups that have existed in history, we have huge populations in where the imperialists live, huge. And we are with our governments, we are with our people back home, and we are integrated with one another as diasporas, peoples, and governments now. And so this is a historical, I'm trying to find a historical precedent where we've seen something like this, and I can't find it. So we have to use this historical moment to lead, and in my opinion, what I think is a global revolution. I really do believe that. And I don't want to say it in any uncertain terms, because the thing is that I've looked at it in every way. And I said, where's the weakness? Where can the reactionaries fit in and divide us and weaken us and conquer us, and where? And the thing is that everything they do is only just strengthening the resistance. They can censor us, they can do whatever they want. But if you censor us, there's the so-called Streisand effect, where, it has the effect of actually increasing awareness on an issue. So censorship won't work. Everything they try is going to fail because of the unity that we are creating between all of us, because we're so fed up and saying no more at this exact same time and unified by their stupid support for TPLF. It's like they want us to become stronger. So I want to say thank you, United States administration that's currently doing this. You idiots who are thinking that this is going to that this is going to divide and destroy us. You have made us stronger, and I want to say thank you so much for everything that you're doing. So either way you lose, and you just choose which loss you want. Do you want it the one where we're totally militantly against, this U.S. administration? It's foolish. And again, I want to stress that we do not want to antagonize you, but we're speaking in these very bold terms so that, you change behavior for collective, to end suffering. So that's one route. And the other route is you accept defeat and you negotiate, like you did with China with Kissinger and Nixon. You go to these three countries and you say, hey, you know what? We respect you as human beings. We respect your old ancient civilization that had existed for so long. These Somalis think they're, for the old Puntite people, you have the Aksumites, you have the Dimit people, you have these people who have a strong sense of ancient history, and they think they can just roll over the Horn of Africa, and it's just not going to happen. So I think at this current moment, this is going to lead to the educational part, the agitational part, and the organizational part. And it's happening through No More, and I think that everyone should take part. All of us are very key in all of this. Without the Somalis, we are nothing. Without the Eritreans, we are nothing. Without the Ethiopians, we are nothing. Without the Djiboutians, we're nothing. We are only strong when we're all together, because when you have one that is weak, it provides access to our region in a way that threatens all of us. And so we have to see it in this light, that our unity is our strength. And so I think we have big things ahead of us, and I think that this is just the start of something beautiful.
I think it's so on point. I think in the Horn of Africa, exactly with what Simon said, there is an awakening that is happening in the Horn of Africa, and it has reached a critical mass. And I think this war on Ethiopia, and this war on Eritrea, and this war on Somalia, the economic warfare, the demonization, the lies, the hybrid warfare, the psychological warfare, has expedited the process, has unified the people, and this is good, and I think that the awareness is there, and the people are aware now that the marginalization and the subjugation of Africans has been normalized for far too long, and those things are coming to surface. Just today or yesterday, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, for example, was questioning why Africa does not have a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. Imagine 1.3 billion people don't have a permanent seat in the United Nations. And that was accepted as normal. and no one questioned it. So these are the things, the kind of things that are going to come up, that are going to be questioned. The institutionalized discrimination, the institutionalized racism against the people of Africa and the descendant of Africans. Even in world finance, look at the World Bank, how money flows. You compare the interest rates of loans that are given to Africa, and you look at the interest rates that are of loans given to Europe or America, like it's 0%. Like free money for the United States, for example, but for Africa, it's you can't pay it off in a generation. 18, 20, 30%. It's like predatory loans, and this all has been accepted as normal, as if it was okay. And these are the things that are going to change, because Africa has the numbers, the resources, the wealth. This systematic, institutionalized subjugation of the people stops now, stops here, and the Horn of Africa, us, and our brothers and sisters throughout East Africa and throughout the whole of Africa. The time has come where we stand together boldly and say, no more. Enough is enough.
Love it. I'll add something really quick. I think Nebiyu and Simon have said so much of it, but I just want to say, if you guys are listening to this and you agree with the idea that tribalism doesn't serve us and that our power is in our unity, if so, then you're probably a leader, right? So if you're a leader, how can you lead that conversation? Maybe it's in your place of worship or at a community center where you ask to make a speech. Maybe you're an artist, a writer. Maybe you present something about that. Maybe your space is in the technology world. The connectedness of this global world is what has actually allowed us to connect the dots and say, oh, so this is not really an accident that Somalia or Ethiopia or Eritrea doesn't they're not just destined to be like this. There's all these different powers that are making it so. And part of that is those of us on the inside who don't recognize what's happening. So maybe you make a video on Instagram, maybe you write a tweet. I think Simon mentioned the rally that's happening at Twitter headquarters in San Francisco. There's also one that's happening, that's tomorrow. There's also one that's happening in DC. Recently, I've seen some new Ethiopian and Eritrean faces taking the mic, young people who clearly have had this inside of them for a long time, because when they get on the mic, it's coming from somewhere deep. And so I would love to see more young Somalis or Somalis in general get on those mics. You are a part of the Horn. We are a part of this same system. And I just encourage anyone who has that in them to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You deserve to be on the world stage. And so don't hold yourself back, whatever way it is that you want to be a part of the conversation and lead that. We encourage you to do that. We need more of that to keep this movement going. It is the people that are keeping it going. And the more diverse we are and the more stories that we're telling, the stronger that we'll be together.
Wow.
I also want to add one thing about that. I just noticed that like the focus of how this is on the youth. This is very much on the youth. And one thing that I know, working within my own community, Eritrean community, working with other Horn of Africa communities, is that when you go to the community center, there sometimes can be a generational difference between those who manage the communities and then the young people. The young people, as Nebiu mentioned, comprise most of the masses of the Horn at the current moment, as well as in the diaspora. We have very hungry and eager youth, as Harmela mentioned, wanting to get on mics and say some things that had been pent up before. But if you have these ideas, maybe your own community center doesn't have it, or your parents don't have it. Maybe they even have like a backward mentality and they're thinking some things that you don't necessarily agree with. Come out. You are the future. This is a place for you as a young person to be revolutionary, to go out and challenge this backwardness that you don't agree with, and to put yourself out there a little bit. And you know what? This is when people make names for themselves. When you say, this is who I am. I'm not this old mentality type person who is holding us back as a region, even the world back, with their backwardness. And so if you have these ideas, you share our thoughts, as Harmela is saying, you should come out and make your presence felt in these No More demonstrations. I'm obviously not on Twitter, so you may not get this information from me, but all of my colleagues and comrades here who are talking, please follow them. And I know they will share information about these demonstrations, and in particular, focus on the ones at this current moment that are directed towards Twitter. Again, these peaceful demonstrations, just to let Twitter know in a peaceful way what is wrong, that censorship is bad, and that they shouldn't buckle under the pressure of external and internal forces within their organization and outside of their organization that tell them that they should censor certain voices. So this is I want you to direct your thoughts there, direct your focus this week there. So go out and make your presence felt.
Very good. Fiery. You are on fire. You guys said everything. I think it is nothing left. I was reminded by the message Dr. Abiy Ahmed said 1.3 billion people with no voice in the Security Council. That was the message that killed Gaddafi. That was the same exact message that destroyed Zimbabwe. They don't like it. And that's why I tweeted, when I saw that, I replied to his tweet. I said, Mr. Prime Minister, please stay safe. However, continue poking that nerve. These guys are sometimes horrible, but if we know it, if we know the attack that's coming, it's easier when you don't know. So now we are awake, we know it, and we are aware, and we will make everyone in our community be aware and get ready for it. Exactly what Simon and Hermela was saying. We need the youth to take the lead. This is your time. We elders, and sometimes we say to you guys, you are the leaders of tomorrow, but there's no tomorrow that's left. It's your day. We don't want to give you the baton or pass you the baton. We want to be in front all the times, whether we are capable or not. This is the problem of the old generation. I don't know, especially in Africa. We don't, everywhere. You know, you go to the US Senate and you see old folks there. There is only one or two or three young people. This is what it is. So let's ignite the sleeping giant. Let's give the microphone so they can breathe it out. Let them be there and lead there and get out. Let us encourage them to have the microphones, to have the banners. And look at that young man who had the banner, any Eritrean young man who had the banner to the face of Boris Johnson, and they arrested him. And that became viral. What's better than that? Arrest me if you want. The message was about that. Anyways, and now you made me famous and you made my banner famous. That's all I wanted. A few hours behind bars, I will come back. What's the big deal? What is big deal? Beautiful. So I was enjoying. So we need to poke those nervous. We need to agitate and anger those people. We need to oppose and say, as Nebi was saying, enough is enough. It's about the time. Stop right here. Stop right here. No more colonization for, at least for now, Horn of Africa, for now. And we will expand that tent until it covers the entire continent of Africa. Africa is my land, it's my country. I was reading, there was an amazing message. This man was called Lord Macaulay. He gave a speech in the British Parliament, 2nd February 1835. He says, I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar. That is the Africa that we're missing. He said, I did not see a person who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country. Such high, he says, country. It used to be a country. We used to be one family. We've been divided into 54 countries. We have to close those borders. At least we have to open to each other. All these borders to be open to each other. And free movement of the human. We've been shackled by making lines between us. We share everything. We share many things. We may have less differences than we share, but we are being divided and being contained from each other by the imperialists. So he says, I have not seen any thief, anybody who is beggar or hungry, people of such caliber, that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system. When I was saying about education, this is what I meant. We don't need no Western education. We need African education. We need to make our own curriculums everywhere in the countries that we have. Our own curriculums. The history that we teach should be ours. The cultures that we teach our kids should be ours, not those in outside. So this is my closing remarks. Let us get together. Let us get together and work together and help each other to lift each other up and to ignite the entire Horn of Africa people. That 150 million people are waiting for us. We should not be sleeping. We should be sleepless in this part of the world. At least we have freedom. We can talk, they can silence us. And by the way, Simon, you need to open a new account. We will follow you and populate you in no time. Just open another one. Let them close that one again. Open another one. Agitate them. Let them be chasing you around. Everybody will see it. Expose them. You should not just sit behind. That account was 40,000. We will make 40,000 a new one with no money or no time. So have it today. Put it together. Inbox us. We will all help that account to be populated in no time. Trust me. I remember you were less than 20,000. In matter of 2 weeks, you became over 40,000. Look at Mali. She's 150,000 now. We can populate your account. Open it today. And anyone who lost account should open another one until they give up on us. If they close my account, I will open next day, and I will DM you all. So without further, elongating your time, I really appreciate you guys joining me today. I am ignited. I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight because I am really hyper.
I hear that. Can I mention something really quick, Sheikh, before we go?
Yes.
So Saturday, there's a panel that we're doing that myself, Simon, and Nebi, you are a part of, 2 Haitian journalists, Margaret Kimberly of Black Agenda Report, Elijah Magnier, who has covered wars for literally decades in Iraq, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, and Libya. And the title of our panel is The People United, Overcoming Western Propaganda to Connect Struggles Against Imperialism. What does that mean? That means all of our struggles look so much more alike than you might think. And these are some of the best people on the topics that they're talking about. I've already had some conversations with everybody just ahead of it, and I'm telling you, it is mind-blowing what some of these journalists will tell you in terms of how Western propaganda works. And I think that it will help people understand if there's, it will really enlighten you, because you will see how all these different regions and countries have been oppressed and dominated for so long, and it will make you realize that it's not supposed to be that way. So I think it will be, I would say it's a historic conversation. I haven't seen anything quite like this, similar to what we say about #NoMore. I've never seen such an eclectic panel talking about overcoming Western propaganda and just how mainstream media is really an arm of the government. So whatever you're reading in the New York Times, in an AP, it's designed to keep you confused. I would tell even your non-Somali American friends to listen, because one of the things that keeps us in the same place is that Americans don't understand how their government is operating overseas. If they did, so many of them would be appalled, and they would also join us in the No More movement, which is the goal eventually. So I encourage everybody to send it to folks outside of your Somali community as well. Thank you so much. I'll have the link on my Twitter page.
Absolutely, we will share it.
Thank you.
Simon, open the account, please.
So I'm assessing very carefully, how to move ahead, because the thing is that I recognize that how critical No More is, and what they're going to do because of the fear of No More is they're going to use ban evasion as an excuse to come after me. And so I don't want to give away too much here and explain too much, but all you need to know for now is that I'm going to be around, and all of us. This is not about individual personalities for sure, but I do know that I've kind of put myself out there and need to kind of just continue saying some stuff and speaking up for people. So I will do my best to get out there, and there are other ways. It doesn't have to be by Twitter. There's Telegram. I do have an account. I did start a channel, and there are other ways of kind of putting myself out there. But I will assess that, and people here can, I will contact you to put that message out on Twitter. Or excuse me, I will not contact you to put that message out there. What I'm going to do though is just put messages out, and if you choose to promote it, that's your choice.
We will.
So because I don't want to
Why not?
violate the ban evasion thing. So
No,
I respect, huh?
We will promote with respect and dignity, and we will do it.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'll just Twitter is really being intense. The shutting down of Simon's account on Horn of Africa Hub still very much mysterious, and they seem very much intent in cutting off this conversation, which is encouraging because it means it's doing something. But yeah, that's why Simon is watching his words, because they're going out of their way.
And on top of it, the thing about it is that they are trying to divide and conquer. Yeah, that's the event right there. Exactly. They're trying to divide and conquer. They knew that, there was an Eritrean voice that was very visible, and, there are Ethiopian voices. And so the thing is that, when we started this protest, we had the color purple and a very neutral color that Somalis, Eritreans, Ethiopians, everybody, Djiboutians can all participate with. And, and so it was a good color. But then what happened was that, there's this tendency of my own Eritrean people, Ethiopians, Somalis, or whoever wants to participate to, put forward no more with their own colors and all this kind of stuff. And, and so there is like this, we're all under attack, and there could be a tendency to revert back to our own countries. And so we have to be very careful and make sure that this is a Horn of Africa thing, that this is a Pan-African thing, a global thing. That's why when we say think big, it's code word for think beyond your own tribe, your own nation. You got to expand and grow this movement to be very large. And so it's a global movement now. And so by coming after me, it's an attack on our unity as a Horn of Africa, and they want to make it an insular, closed Ethiopian kind of thing, but it's not, because we have full participation of everyone from the Horn. Even though the Somali numbers are small, they will grow. I have no doubt about it, especially with forums like this. And I look forward to Somali flags coming out on the streets when we go and demonstrate. And shoot, if I'm out there, I'm bringing a Somali flag. So yes. I'm just saying, this is, don't get mad, my dear Somali comrades and friends. If I have a Somali flag, I'm a Somali at heart. I hope you'll accept me as a Somali.
Who can tell? You look Somali.
Exactly.
Who knows who's who? We've been divided. We share many things more than we have differences. More. So there's no one that can say you're not Somali if you claim that you're Somali. If they see you with the flag, they will definitely believe that you are Somali.
Exactly. There we go.
There's no feature differences. So beautiful. Abdurrahman, you are in mute.
Unmute.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to mention maybe Simon, Hermela, or Sheikh Abdi, if you can arrange any. We don't know what will happen, but I think it will be good to have a plan B. So I think I will suggest also, and second actually the suggestion of Simon to have maybe a kind of a back channel of communication like Telegram. Something happen, or for emergency message, something like that.
Oh, there are a couple of brands that they closed their accounts. They open right away, and then we tell everybody to follow them, and we populated in no time, and they're doing well. One of them has 10,000 now. He had 50,000. We started from zero. He's close to 10,000 now. King Yusuf. Also, Bundid, they closed his account. It was over 30,000, and now he's coming to 5,000. So Obin one, we populate. Simon, you are loved. You cannot imagine how many people have your picture as their profile picture. You became a face for this movement. So just create one. Let's test it. What are you going to lose? What do you have to lose? Agitate them. Remember,
I just don't want a permanent ban, and that's their move. So they're gonna turn me into Trump or Alex Jones, one of these type of people. So
that will make you even more popular.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. What is wrong with that?
It was interesting. They had on the Voice of America, a Twitter executive come out and say, the reason why they wanted to ban me, and it was BS. They were saying that it was because of artificial behavior, like I'm increasing engagements by using multiple accounts. Like somebody can't go into their professional account and retweet their personal self or vice versa. Everyone does that because that's how it works. You have to do that. So for them to say that,
research does.
Huh?
Sahan research does, and they don't. They give them.
Yeah.
They give them every day.
They know they took me down at a particular time when the movement was right after Thanksgiving. A lot of people were. I'm not going to go into the internal dynamics, but we have to understand that they see what's going on behind the scenes, the conversations that we may be having, and what we're thinking. There are a lot of opportunists trying to go into the movement. These things will be addressed. I promise you, they will be addressed.
When will be the rally?
The rally is coming up, so that will be actually on the
17th?
upcoming 17th.
Yeah, next Friday.
Next Friday, everyone.
Next Friday. Perfect.
Friday the 17th. And find in your local city a Twitter office, and we are going to have to demonstrate and let everyone know. I'm not sanctioning this because I cannot speak on my behalf, but I'm saying if people I'm just addressing what people are saying, so I'll let others talk about this.
So it's Friday, this Friday.
So tomorrow there's one happening in San Francisco, which is where the Twitter headquarters are, and a couple of other cities, including DC, that are doing that a rally. But next Friday, it's going to be much bigger, focused on Twitter. We cannot really underestimate the power of being able to communicate in that space. That's part of what has gotten us here. So we're really trying to focus on that and do something more national and with multiple cities, more coordinated with more numbers outside of the Horn of Africa communities as well. So that's coming next Friday, December 17th. And we're going to have information on my Twitter page, Nebiu's page, Ethiopian American Development Council's Twitter page. And so we'll be sharing that with both of you as well, so that you can share it with everybody.
Sure. Absolutely. I will. So San Francisco, DC, Virginia, or just DC?
Not sure. It tends to be just DC.
Send me all
more information. More information to come.
Send me all of them ahead of time so I can try to.
Perfect.
I will make a session, Somali session, in my Facebook. It's very popular. I just made video how many hours? 5 hours ago, and it's being watched by reached and sorry, give me 1 second. It's very popular, and I got a lot of people in the US that follow my account and listen to.
I confirm.
So 80,000 plus 50,000, so 130,000. And it's only 7 hours ago. So I will talk to them. I will have a session for this, and I will organize and tell them the cities and what they have to bring with them and the time. So share with me all those information. Plus, anytime you want me to join a panel, just let me know. I will be very flexible. I will not go to work. This will be my work.
Great. A few cities, I guess I just want to prolong this conversation. But some cities, I just looked it up where the Twitter offices are, just for people to keep in mind. If you're there, just start getting together. So obviously, San Francisco, Atlanta, Boulder, Colorado, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Miami, New York, Santa Monica in LA, Seattle, and then Washington, D.C., as well as the San Jose area and Sunnyvale.
What about Canada?
Can we get a Minneapolis, please?
I know, it's not on here though. That's what I was hoping for, but.
Amazing. Okay. Well, should I stop the recording? So if you want to talk to each other, a minute. Okay.
I think so.